In this episode, we're exploring inspiring, unique architecture homes. Hi, and welcome back to our channel. Please consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell to receive our periodic episodes. Thank you for joining in this journey. Let's visit Flint House in the United Kingdom. The site is a remote island, a strange, still anomaly of wilderness within high cultivated agricultural fields. The Flint House and Annex form two-stepped, linear monoliths that appear pulled from the landscape as geological extrusions of infinite age with the rough texture and rawness of their surroundings. The buildings are both viewing platforms and condensing lenses for the surrounding panorama. Flint is a quartz related to obsidian and is found only in the chalk seam that extends from the south coast to Norfolk. Flint is an ancient material related to jasper, obsidian, and onyx, a hard cryptocrystalline form of quartz found in one geological seam in the UK and in abundance on the surface of the plowed fields surrounding the site. The architecture was generated from this Neolithic material, the geology, and the immediate ecosystem. The lowest courses of Flint are blackest and rough-hewn with large gallets of black mortar joints. The walls and terrazzo roofs fade in six-colored strata as the flint progresses up the building from galleted black through finely napped grays and finally into courses of long, narrow blocks of white chalk where the building appears to dissolve into the sky. The watercourse is lined in raw flint nodules, used as it is found in the ground. The program moves from the utilitarian and open spaces at the center of the site to more contemplative, private rooms buried in the existing trees at the far ends of each building. There are plays with old typologies, techniques, and materials. The internal river reinvents the historic grotto, but using raw nodules of flint still covered in chalk with their ancient underwater origin. It carves a mysterious internal cave through the structure that separates the public spaces from the more introspective, with views across water, through fire, and expanded in reflections. The ceiling of black glass mirrors dark water below, creating an impression of infinite space, drawing the landscape deep into the core of the building, mixing memory and desire. The Flint House consists of 3 bedrooms, a dining room, kitchen, library, and study with a self-contained annex studio. Meet Northwoods House by Olson Kundig. This home in Michigan's Upper Peninsula frames and emphasizes its natural context, making nature its focus. The design reacts to the surrounding environment, dissolving inside and outside boundaries and creating composed views into the woods and towards the water. Exterior materials will weather over time to match the surroundings, while colors in the interior are inspired by the landscape. For example, an interior wood stain matches the color of the bark of nearby trees. The house is organized on the site in 2 directions. An east-west axis creates a path from the front door to a lake view, while floor-to-ceiling windows along a north-south axis frame the surrounding garden and forest. A sculptural staircase anchors the intersection of the 2 main axes. Throughout the interior, ceiling heights and room volumes vary, becoming more spacious in the rooms that open toward views. Roof extensions and light shelves create clear definition between vertical spaces. The orderly access breaks down outside the house as an asymmetrical cantilevered roof directs your gaze to the woods and lake views to the west. Let's visit Lone Madrone Retreat, designed by Heliotrope Architects. Located on a rocky, windswept south-facing shoreline, this retreat home nestles into the landscape to harmonize with its surroundings and minimize exposure to weather. The home is a vacation retreat for a family of 4 who desired a low-impact home with a strong connection to land and sea. The design solution utilizes a simple wedge-shaped geometry, mimicking the hillside slope beyond, and is tucked into a natural depression in the shoreline in order to diminish its visual impact. Living spaces open up completely on north, garden, and south, water sides via a custom lift slide door system. Bedrooms focus primarily on the more private, forested slope to the west, and the kitchen opens onto an adjacent rock promontory to the east. Due to the extreme weather exposure of the site, major openings are paired with rolling wall panels to protect them from punishing winter storms, as well as to provide security when unoccupied. The finished palette consists of local materials including Douglas fir, floors trim, Western red cedar for the siding, wall, and ceiling cladding, and Pacific Madrone for the furniture. The site is within the San Juan Islands National Monument with extremely sensitive shorelines and a marine environment. A clear understanding of nearshore ecology greatly impacted the design of the home. To avoid habitat loss for nearshore insects, a critical food source for endangered juvenile Chinook salmon, a garden roof seeded with native, drought-tolerant vegetation has been utilized. The assembly replaces over 90% of the vegetative footprint lost to construction. With shallow soils, disruption to natural stormwater flow is also a critical issue. Poorly filtered runoff from roofs and other hard surfaces are a major water quality issue in the islands. Drainage design captures runoff along the upslope footing and disperses it in an unconcentrated 1-to-1 ratio just downslope of the structure, replicating as closely as possible the pre-construction runoff condition. Lastly, the firm worked to satisfy the program requirements as efficiently as possible in order to minimize structural footprint and massing. The result is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home that feels much larger than its modest 1,600 square foot size would suggest. Thanks for visiting. Please consider subscribing to hear about our latest videos if you haven't done so yet. Stay tuned.